What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Gaming Billio here, back with a long-awaited video you all have been asking for. This is how to end a playthrough, walkthrough, showing the settings, everything of Nvidia Breath of the Wild. That's a shortened version of saying it, but basically we are enabling RTX ray tracing on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and we have much more graphical mods enabled also for this beautiful game that is damn near the closest to lifelike you can make it. um, so the first step in doing any of this is to have a Nvidia graphics card. You can't do this with one of the newer ARC GPUs or an AMD GPU. You would have to have a Nvidia graphics card, and what you need to do is then install the GeForce experience. After you install GeForce experience, you make your account, do all that, then then you would go into the settings and make sure that you have everything enabled. In the general settings, it's not very long, just enable the performance tab, which I put to Alt P. It is, I believe, Alt R when you start off, which would be this right here. On the top right, you could now see my GPU clock, memory clock for the GPU, fan speed in RPMs, GPU power in watts, and the GPU voltage. Utilization for the GPU and CPU. You have the render latency, FPS at the very top, and 99 FPS is right below that, which is basically the 99% of graphics going out. So, what you need to do after you have enabled everything on the GeForce experience is then go into a game that you do have that is enabled with RTX. So, for instance, Far Cry 5 is one of them. I believe Call of Duty is one of them. Resident Evils. There's a whole list of like 400, 500 games almost that are RTX enabled. You would want to open that game up. After that, you would want to play on it for a little while, and then go back into your Cemu emulator folder. So the folder where you have Cemu, you would then name that right here Cemu application. You would name Cemu whatever game that is. For me, I just put Far Cry 5. Exactly how you did it. You do not have to have Far Cry 5 to do this. I do not have Far Cry 5. As an RTX game, I have other RTX enabled games. But as you can see, I put Far Cry 5. You have to spell the game out with capitals exactly as it would see it in the Nvidia GeForce experience. So if you download Far Cry 5 from Steam, the game would be spelled out exactly like that, with the C capital and the F capital. And so you have to get that exactly correct. Once you do that and you open up Cemu, then you open up your game, which will be Breath of the Wild. You want to go into the options and then go into graphics packs. Once you're in the graphics packs, you do click on this plus symbol for the mods menu. After you do that, you have to go on to custom cell shading. So once you click on custom cell shading, you enable that. You would have to put the preset to light shading, not painting shading world or painting shading world and link, and do not leave it at cell shading disabled. I think that's what the what it is at the start. So you would need light shading, and then after that you would exit out of the game and re-enter the game. After you've done that, you could then go into the Nvidia GeForce menu right here with Alt Z. Once you press Alt and Z, it pops up the GeForce Experience menu. And because we have a GeForce Experience RTX enabled game as the name for this emulator that we're playing on, which is Cemu, we could then go into this game filter for the RTX enabled games. So if you do not do this entire process that I'm telling you, it will not let you click on that Alt F3, which is the game filters. It will not. You have to do everything I'm telling you exactly how I'm telling you, and then it will allow you to do that. So then, after you've made it this far, you go to Styles, you click on 3. After you click on 3, you press Add Filter, and then you scroll down to SSRTGI. Just like this, you scroll down, SSRTGI will be there, and then you add that. And my settings for this is very intensive. So you probably should not copy this if you have a lower end RTX graphics card, because it is very intensive, and the newer graphics cards even have trouble handling all this. So we are at 48% intensity. The quality is at ultra. The ambient occlusion is at 25%. Indirect lighting is at 33%. Fade distance is at 75%. So what you need to do is disable this invert depth Z-axis. After you did that, this will be clicked on green like this. You need to disable it so both of them are off. So for most people's graphics cards, like a 2060 or something like that, around that, you would probably want to be quality in low to medium range. The fade distance, you'd probably be at around 30. The indirect lighting, you'd probably be around 15. The ambient occlusion is fine, and the intensity would probably be around 15 to 20. And you guys would have a great experience without taking much of a hit. That's what I've noticed using my other graphics cards and doing this. Because I have been doing this for a while, and yeah, I was not really happy with the experience with the ray tracing until I upgraded to the 3080 Ti, and now onto the 4080, because I do have a 4K 120 hertz TV. So on a 4K 120 monitor TV, you don't really get much from a older graphics card and something like this that doesn't use the DLSS engine and DLSS render tool and all that, or whatever it is, because this is 4K native, and you will be relying on the brute force of your graphics card. So yeah, that's exactly the settings. And once you guys do that, you should be able to have ray tracing on your Breath of the Wild. Congratulations, and I'm very happy for you guys if you've made it this far and you have you have done everything correctly. You should have something that looks like this, which is fucking insane. From a Nintendo game to have RTX enabled ray tracing, it is mind blowing. Look at the sword, how it shines, the bomb, the moonlight. It is all very gorgeous, folks. Very gorgeous. So we will be running a little benchmark, if you will, for ourselves. A DIY benchmark off of this Cemu emulator for it. We will be running it exactly how it is right now, which I have many graphics enhancements. I will show you guys right here. Um, oop. So graphics packs, we have the custom cell shading, then we have a draw distance mod. The NPCs, enemies, and other entities are at extreme. You do need the extended memory, which is the one right under. This allows RAM to be used. So with graphics cards and lower end graphics cards and people with less RAM in their builds, they should not put these settings because it would not run very well. So the terrain, buildings, bushes, and other objects are also at ultra. That requires extended memory. Extreme 2D billboard trees. Extreme grass blade density. So the grass, when you run around, it is insane how much grass density there is compared to the regular game. It's like you get lost in the sauce. Texture, distance, detail, LOD is at very high. It is not recommended to put it that high. Um, Extended memory is enabled, so that allows the RAM uh, eh, to be put into the game. Another 2 GB of RAM, and you will need that most likely. The FPS setting is also enabled. We are on 120 FPS limit. We have also workarounds, we have the enhancements. So we have depth of field enabled, reflections on enhanced reflections, reflection range on the extreme 64 samples, anisotropic filtering we have on ultra, and the graphics we are obviously on a 16:9 aspect ratio, full screen, 4K resolution, folks. As you guys could see in the left corner,
Miva's grace is ready.
ooh, Miva's Grace. As you guys could see in the left corner, we are hovering at above 80 FPS, which is absolutely amazing. We have Nvidia FXAA enabled for the anti-aliasing. Shadows are on Ultra 300%. Shadow draw distance is also on Ultra. Higher draw distance, slightly blurrier shadows. We are not really worried about that because of how good everything is. There is a higher setting that is extreme. This is very blurry shadows. You do not want that, and it's probably not going to give you any more uh, better looking draw distance than the Ultra already is. So that's the settings we have for Breath of the Wild, folks. Long list of settings, and there's a bunch of mods that we are going to be adding and messing around with to show you guys. But yeah, let's get into the benchmark to see the differences of the FPS once we do overclock. That's just great. Look at the environment. Light up. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so we do have. I was just a little in awe there over the graphics. So we do have a save ready to go at this certain time. We will be doing the same things, give or take. I mean, this is not in any way uh, perfect reenactment, but we will try to do our exact best. So right now, we will look over here, and we're at above 80, 88, 89, so we're hovering at about 88. We'll look down over here by the river and walk down and check out the scenery, get some of the ray tracing water, check out the scenery, the light, the rays, and then we will jump off over here and see how we do. So right now we were at above 90 and we are currently at 92, 84, 87, 89, and we drop at 75, 74 once we look at the lake right here with the ray tracing sun on it. So there we go, folks. It is a stable 80 FPS without without the RTX 4080 graphics card overclocked. So we will be overclocking it to above 3000 megahertz. So let's get into that. You want to open up MSI Afterburner right here. Once you have that open, you want to then little by little overclock and safely but surely overclock it. So you want to go up by increments of 50 or 100. If you have not overclocked and you are not experienced in overclocking, I don't recommend it because you can cause catastrophic failures in your graphics card. And I am over a year experienced in overclocking, and yesterday I made a mistake that could have been one of those catastrophic failures. So I highly recommend you guys learning first what to do and how to do it when overclocking a graphics card, and then learn the game and what you're doing with ray tracing and all that, and then focus the overclocking to the game itself. For instance, these settings that we're about to do, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, will not be able to run it. Every time I run it, it crash the system and cause my entire PC to bug out and you know, really weird things. So you guys really want to be careful on what you're doing this on, and you have to know what you're getting into before you try doing my settings on your graphics card, or something you just googled or watched a 5-minute YouTube tutorial on, and yeah, you next day your graphics card is toast, your computer won't boot up, and you're having a bunch of problems. So again, do your research, know what you're doing. So we are gonna put the core clock up by 100, enter, and then we are going to put the memory clock up by 100. Again, I would recommend 50, but I do know what I'm doing. So in any other situation when you're doing it the first time, every time go up by 50. 100 is a very, very high change, so it it's better to go little than more uh, when you're overclocking. So then you want to click the the check arrow, and as you guys could see, my GPU clock is at 2850 megahertz. We are at 11301 for the memory clock. So I will now add a little bit of power. I will go to 102. With the power, I recommend you go up 1. So for you, go up 1 to 101, and then wait 5 minutes, and then 102, and then wait 5 minutes, and then yeah. So everything I'm doing, go by half of that, because the first time doing it, I always do that, and you don't know how your graphics card will act, if you have the cooling for it, if it's dusty, if it's gonna have the uh, where the voltage spikes, like in the 3000 series graphics cards, we had uh, voltage spikes. So when I would do this in my 3080 Ti, it would cause the voltage to spike and shut my system off completely. So you guys want to go very little, and then go up from there, and take your time. Do not rush when overclocking. And always make sure you've had your PC on for a little while. Don't turn on the PC after being off for a while and go straight into Breath of the Wild 4K and overclock it all the way up. It's just like a car. When you turn on a sports car or something, you have to allow it to heat up the engine for 5 minutes. So just like a sports car, this is the same thing in the gaming PC. So you have to allow the gaming PC to really heat up first. So after we've done that, we could safely add more memory clock. I know that uh, my memory clock can go up to about 1,000. 1150 was where it was pushing it. So I will go up to 250 right now and click on this. And also, I do recommend you guys to have this off auto. You click this and it turns off auto, and I do recommend you put it all the way to 99. But for me, I do have adequate cooling in my PC case. I am not water cooled at all. I don't believe in the hype of water cooling, really. It is a great solution if it's easy for you, but for me, there's just too many things to for me to rely on. If they go bad and something happens, then again, catastrophic failure. So I am completely air cooled. I have the Fractal Torrent, which is the best rated PC case on the market, and it air cools like a motherfucker. And we obviously have uh, more fans added inside too, and yeah, my CPU is a Noctua that is also air cooled. It has a big grill, NH15, the big boy. So this is definitely not a mobile gaming PC in any shape or form. It is very, very, very hard to move around, especially with all the drives and the three three slot graphics card I have now in there. And yeah, but so you do want to make sure you're adequately cooled. So once we put the memory clock up, we see everything's straight, everything's cool. You could then start going up on the core clock again. So you want to fluctuate little by little on every single thing that you do for it to not stress your graphics card to where it causes failures and problems for you. And um, you want to make sure that your graphics card can handle it. So we go up to 200, and as you guys could see, we are now at 2,955 megahertz, folks. So we will then let that run for a little bit, give it about a little while. You guys want to test all this out for I would say 5 minutes each setting you put. Test it out for 5 minutes. I've gone through this already. Shit, this is the 10th time recording this video, so yeah, be careful with what you do. So I'm gonna put my memory clock at 750 for right now, and add that. And as you guys can see, it's at 11951. Now we could put it up to 104 power and click enter. And core clock, the maximum we could have it at is 251 without any problems. So I am gonna push it for you guys and have it at 251, even though it is very unstable at these limits of the graphics card, especially without any nitrogen or liquid cooling for the CPU or graphics cards. Uh, yeah, and as you guys could see, we're at 2955. Once I click on the check mark over here on the right corner, we are above 3000. We are at 3000 megahertz exactly. It shows 3000 because that is the absolute max. If yeah, we did above 3000 for the core clock count, but 3000 is about the maximum you could push this graphics card to. We do have a Zotac, and I just didn't get an overclocked version because why would I pay $100 if I'm gonna do it right here better than they can anyways. But this is the Zotac 4080, and it is an amazing card, and very, very, very reliable. As you guys could see, it is pushing it to the absolute limit and still running Cemu on 4K with all these crazy mods and RTX workarounds and shit we did to it. So now I will put my memory clock at 1050. Let's put 1000. 3. And see that go above 12. Okay, and this is the absolute maximum now, folks. Oh, and no, wait. 110 power limit. Okay, no, we're not, even though I know I could do it, we're gonna put it at 108 first. Okay, see how that handles it. Okay, 108, 108. As you guys can see, the GPU watts have definitely gone up. And that the GPU temperature has stayed idling at 50 degrees, folks. You've seen it here. There is no trickery. There is no lies. This is a completely air-cooled PC. There's nothing else in there. So I do not have any sponsors, even though I would love to. But yeah, when I recommend something, it is absolutely gonna do the best for you and your PC. So now that everything's stable, we could push the power limit at the very top, 110%. We are at 194 maximum. We just put it at 196 we just saw, as you guys could see. So the watts are definitely up. We're just at 180 where we at before, or we were below 190. So now we are above 195. And 3,000 megahertz, folks. 3,000 megahertz. 3 Gs, man. This graphics card is an absolute monster. So let's finally get into it. Full screen this and load up that save we had and see the difference. Drop to 75, but as you guys could see, we are at 93 now. 90, 89, 94, 87, 91, 94. See right here we were at 80s, I believe. We're in the 80s, and then walk over here, look at the lake. Wait. Did we load the right one? Oh, there we go. This is the right one. Sorry, folks, the shadows were different on that one. We need to be absolutely sure. There we go. Okay. So here we are, folks. Here we are. Okay. So we are above 90 or 89. Then 95, 90, 96. Get a nice view of the lake with the ray tracing. As you guys could see, once we get the lake view with the ray tracing, it goes up. We did definitely see a gain right there. So when the ray tracing is prevalent in the picture, in the frames, I did notice that the frames go up. For some reason that is with the overclock and without, but it is definitely more of a gain when overclocked. We're above 100 frames right here. We're just hitting 101. Yeah, there it is. We're locked at above 100 frames, folks. That is absolutely gorgeous. So look over here, and again this side, and we're gonna jump right here, and we're above 100, 105, 106, 104. Now look over here, we're still at 100, 95, 90, and 78, 73, 75. Yep, at the most intense parts it still drops. But then when we get over here, it is above 80 still. There we go. Let's take out some of the objects. And there you have it, folks. Breath of the Wild with ray tracing enabled. So as you guys could see, we did go way above 100 FPS, locked at 105 in the air, or 103. It was about locked at 103. That is absolutely amazing. When we dropped over here, it was at about 95, and then once everything came out, the chew jellies and all that movement and all that with the rays in the background, we did drop to around 70s. So it is an improvement nonetheless. At sometimes it is amazing, like especially right here, as you guys could see, I'm above 95 FPS. That's a major gain from the 80 FPS we were at before when idling. And then when I put everything in the frame in the background with the light and the ray tracing enabled, we're at 85 still, above the 73 we were at before. So it does drop still to the 70s, but not as low. And I haven't been watching the 99 FPSs, but I believe it should be a little bit better than it was. But there you go, folks. Now you know how to enable RTX on Cemu and Breath of the Wild. You now know how to overclock your graphics card, and yeah, you're gonna have a great time playing Breath of the Wild. So I hope you guys really enjoyed, and yeah, I did take a risk uploading this one for Nvidia taking this down, and you know, legal issues with Nvidia and the big N. So I hope you guys appreciated it and enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you guys for watching, commenting, and letting me know what you guys want to see. And yeah, you guys have some fun with your newly acquired knowledge. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.